Today, fellas, we are looking at the Gambit Pinnacle weapon, Hush. Now, forgive me, fellas, I've got a really bad sore throat, so things are going to sound a little funky today. But let's take a look at this bow. I think we were all surprised when we saw that the Pinnacle weapon for Gambit was a bow. When we think of like super lethal weapons, I don't think bows really jump out to us. But this one's pretty nasty, guys. Now, first up, shout out to Garok for landing this bow. He is the one that grinded out for it, and it will require some grind, essentially getting 1,000 bow final kills inside of Gambit, as well as 500 precision final blows in Gambit, and you also have to earn medals. Now, in terms of recommendations on what bows you should probably use for obtaining this Pinnacle weapon, La Monarch is an obvious choice. It's very good. Some have said that Trinity Ghoul is also really good, but even just a well-rolled legendary would probably do just fine for you. Now, the third requirement is to earn medals. Now, medals can be earned in any way, but Garok did leave me a note here. He stated that the harder the Gambit medal, the more progress it gives. He said I was able to make more progress in games where I was able to get things like Thrillmonger and Army of One medals than easy ones like First to Bang. So keep that in mind, fellas. With that being said, let's move on to the bow. First up, it is a precision frame bow. Compound bow, longer draw time, optimized for damage. You can also press your reload button to cancel the shot. Now, precision frame puts it at a 760 draw time. Mercules has actually got it in his charts at 767, and I'm probably more inclined to go with Mercules' number instead of what we see here in front of us. It's not the first time numbers have been a little off, and being only a 7 draw time difference, it's not that big of a deal. Now, moving on, it comes with natural string, straight fletching, and our traits here is opening shot, which improve accuracy and range on the opening shots of attack. Opening shot is a weird animal. It's one of the best perks you can get on shotguns, as it actually increases that range by like half a meter. But how it behaves on bows and other weapons, or in Hush's case, it fits perfectly with the playstyle. And that is because of Archer's Gambit, which is our final trait here. Hipfire precision hits grants a massive draw speed bonus for a short duration. Now, it also comes with a masterwork of 10 accuracy, and we're going to get into mods in just a second. But first up, let's talk about the synergy between opening shot and Archer's Gambit. So opening shot, super beneficial here because the way your playstyle is going to work is that first initial shot is obviously going to be a hipfire shot. You're going to want to proc Archer's Gambit. So opening shot being able to allow you to dip in on that accuracy and that range buff from the hip is really nice, as it will help you a lot in landing that first initial crit. Now, upon landing that crit, we proc Archer's Gambit here for a total of 7 seconds. That's 7 seconds of super fast draw speed. Now, how fast? Like I said, we started out at about 767 draw time for this compound bow, which puts us at about 61 frames. Now, upon actually activating Archer's Gambit, this dropped our draw time to about 26. I know it shows about 31 frames or 33. Realistically, it's about 26. When I slowed it back down, we're drawing less than half of what the initial draw time is, which when we actually do the math, Archer's Gambit gives us somewhere around 327 draw time. Now, again, there could be some error as this is all visual, right? I'm only taking this by frame, and I'm only visually looking at it. But you can go ahead and say that it's somewhere between 300 to 400 draw time for this bow, which makes it the fastest bow in the game, essentially. Faster than any of the lightweight bows by a mile. And you can see here how quickly the release is once you get Archer's Gambit rolling. And the beautiful thing about this is you can either continue to sit there and hip fire and constantly keep refreshing Archer's Gambit, or you can even back up, start aiming down sights just to make sure you're going to land those crits, and in the final second or two, land a hipfire shot to reproc Archer's Gambit. Now, let's talk about weapon mods. What weapon mod should you be using with this bow? I had some people talking about it yesterday, but I believe an obvious choice would be a freehand mod, as this increases accuracy when shooting from the hip. And again, we want to make sure we proc Archer's Gambit as much as we possibly can, whether you're in PvP or in PvE. And so anything that can help out with that initial accuracy, especially if we're going to be maintaining shots from the hip, freehand is an obvious choice. And for those that are wondering what it looks like with freehand. This is actually a side-by-side between the two. On the left there is without freehand, and on the right there it is. So you can see there the reticle in the middle is much tighter and smaller with freehand than it is without. And that's just to indicate that the accuracy bonus from the hip is definitely at work here with this bow. Now, to the actual review, guys. Is Hush a good bow to be using for either PvP or for PvE? First up, if you got 1,000 kills inside of Gambit with a bow and 500 precision kills, I believe you already love bows, okay? You're obviously a bow enthusiast, so 100%, if you're one of those, absolutely. And for PvE, if you want to just go in there and just start burning through ads and do it in fashion, Hush is the bow for you. Now granted, we're not necessarily breaking records over here killing Greg, but for a bow, it's doing a pretty incredible job. Better than any other bow in the game in terms of DPS. And of course, for something like PvE, you don't have to rock a freehand mod, as you can kind of take your time with landing those precision shots. So if you wanted to rock a minor spec, a major spec, go right ahead. You can apply that here to this bow. Now for PvP, is Hush a force to be reckoned with? I don't know what it is, guys. I fell in love with this bow yesterday. I had a really good time playing with it. There's something satisfying about landing that crit shot from the hip and then to immediately follow up with that immediate draw time. Most of your opponents are not expecting it. And like even good players that are sitting there waiting for you, you'll shoot them with a bow and they're actually starting to push you again with something because they think you're going to sit there and take your time with your next draw time, and you're just like, bam! Right in the face again. Is pretty nasty. Now, as disgusting as it may appear, it will require some skill. Landing those hipfire shots are not the easiest, especially for my controller users that don't have as much control over their aim. And I felt like the aim assist or the stickiness was there, but it required you to still be damn near on target every single time. There was not a lot of forgiveness there. Now granted, the freehand mod will really help out in this scenario, which is why I highly recommend it. But in terms of its lethality, this is something to not overlook, because if you maintain the skill level to land those crit shots, that 7 seconds that you have with that damn near 300 draw time speed is enough to take out a number of opponents, and to do it very fast, and stylistically, you can't do it any better way. I mean, you look like a straight up beast landing these bow kills. So guys, that is our review for Hush. I enjoy it. It's not gonna be for everyone, but for my people out there that are hunting for a good bow to sink their teeth into, this is definitely the bow for you. Fellas and ladies, thank you all for coming and watching, and as always,
slap that like button like your mama told you right.